Today I'm going to take you through the steps of setting up and formatting your Works Cited page on your MLA paper. So I'm pretending like I've written an amazing paper here. You can see I have sort of this set up in MLA formatting. I have an amazing title. It looks like a pretty good paper that I'm writing. When I get to the end of the paper, it ends right here. What I want to do to get to my Works Cited page is just click below it or right next to it, right after the last word of your paper. And I want to hit Insert Page Break. Insert Page Break. The reason why I do that is it creates a break in my writing and sends me down to the next page. There's an invisible line up here, so if I add anything to my paper or take anything away, it's not going to move my Works Cited page. So my Works Cited page is always separate. Now that I've created this separate page, I'm going to hit Center, and then I'm just going to write the words Works Cited. Notice that they're not bold, it's not underlined, it's not in quotes, it's just the words Works Cited by itself, and that's all you need to do for that. I, for some reason, don't have a header yet, so I'm going to remind you how to do that. You go to Insert, Header and Page Number, and I'm just going to click Header right here. Then I'm going to hit Right Align because it needs to be on the right side. For whatever reason, this defaults to Arial 11 size font, so I need to change that to Times New Roman 12-point font. It's also way at the top, so if I print this off, it's not going to be right, so I need to hit Enter twice. Then I type my last name, space. Then I go to Insert, Header and Page Number, find page number right here, and I want this very first one. So again, you go Insert, Header and Page Number, click on Page Number, and then the very first one listed is the proper one. And that's absolutely correct because this is the third page on my research paper. So 1, 2, 3. Last page is my Works Cited page. Now I need to click Enter. Notice it's already set up to be double spaced, or maybe it is. If it isn't, I need to make sure it is. So it's double spaced because everything is double spaced. So after the title, I hit Enter. I want to go left align, and now I'm going to cite one of the websites that I was using. So this is an article from the Washington Post. That I'm going to cite. And in my research packet, I show you on page 10 how to format a page on a website. It's the last entry down here. And the very first thing I need is the author. And just a quick reminder, when you do the author in MLA, it's the last name, comma, first name, period. You can see that down there. So we're going to have Ingraham, comma, Christopher. And then I have a period after that. Looking back at my packet, after I do the author, I need to do the title of page. A few things I notice about that, it's in quotes and there's a period inside it. So this is kind of a long title, and I want to do a little bit of a cheat with this article. So I am going to copy and paste it. But notice what happens if I just copy and paste it. All that funky formatting comes with it. So a little cheat I personally do is I copy and paste the article title in the URL address. That looks a little weird, but what it does is it strips the formatting. So I can copy it again and paste it down here. Now a few things I need to do. I can't just stop there. First and foremost, I need to put it in quotes. I need to add the period after year. But I also need to capitalize all the keywords in the title. If you're ever not sure if something is a keyword, one thing you can do that's a little cheat is there are actually really good websites that you can copy and paste your title in, and it'll tell you which words to capitalize. Sometimes I even get confused and forget some of the nitpicky rules, so sometimes I have to double check that. But I know that's correct, so I'm okay with that. So going back to this, the next thing I need to do is the title of the website. I notice that it's in italics and followed by a comma. Title of the website, The Washington Post. So I'm going to hit space, hit my italics, write The Washington Post, hit italics, add my comma, and now I'm done with that. The next thing I need to do is my publisher or sponsor. This one's a little bit tricky. I would say this is almost the hardest part of doing some of this online works cited page information. Here's what I always do. I always just Google or Wikipedia the website I'm using, like the Washington Post. For really major websites or news organizations like the Washington Post, a lot of times they'll have some things over here. And you really want to look for the company that owns it, like the big organization, because that's what they're asking for, and the publisher or sponsor. So I see the owner right here is the WP company. I'm sure that's the Washington Post company is what it's short for. So I'm just going to put that in there. You notice I kind of do it automatically. I kind of cheat on my formatting, but that's pretty short and easy to write, so that's fine. So that's the publisher or sponsor. Then I need a comma. The next thing on here is my date of publication. People forget this sometimes, but remember in MLA we do that funky thing where we do day, month, year. So this was published on September 1st, 2017. So I'm going to go 1, I can shorten the month, 2017. Going back to my packet, after the date of publication, I have comma URL. I have a few notes in here, and I'll just kind of explain them. Whenever you're copying from your URL into your works cited page, basically they don't want you to include the HTTPS or the HTTP. So I just delete it right there. Then I select it all. Then I copy it all. And then I can just, I think I need a comma. Oops. Yep, I need a comma. Comma. Then I can just paste it right in there. All right. This is one other little tricky thing. If I hit space after that, you notice how it like hyperlinks itself? You actually don't want that hyperlink in MLA formatting. So what I do is I actually just hit Control Z, or I think you can do Edit Undo. Command Z or Edit Undo. And it actually takes it away. So it's easier than it looks, but that one is a step that I think trips a lot of people up. Okay, so after the URL is a period and then the date of access. Notice how they format the date of access. You actually write the word accessed and then today's date. So I'm going to put period. Oh, hold on. Look, that messed up again. So I'm going to hit Edit Undo again, and it's going to take it away. You might have to play around with that a little bit. So access today's date is the 27th of January, 2017, period. All right, next thing I need to do, I have another article. That's all I have for that one, so I'm just going to hit enter. Have another article. This is on opposing viewpoints, Gale, so I get to major cheat down here because we already had the citation done and I know it's correct in MLA formatting, so I'm just going to copy and paste it in. This is my personal preference. I'm actually going to do this where it strips the formatting up here. So if I just copy and paste this in, you can see it's the wrong font. There's some funky things going on. But actually, here's what I need to take note of. Maybe I spoke too soon. The cool thing about Gale is that it keeps the italics in here. So I take it back. I'm not going to do my little formatting sheet. I am just going to make sure everything is correct. So I'm going to highlight it all, hit Times New Roman. I know it needs to be 12-point font. And I just need to, it looks like it's double spaced, but I just need to double check it. All right, we only have a couple more things we need to do. We're almost done. So there's no hanging indent. The hanging indent is where like the lines after the first one are sort of indented. Google Docs doesn't have a great way to do this, so I'm going to show you my cheat. I always do this last, and I just highlight everything in my works cited page except for the words works cited. And if you come up here, you see this blue sort of like down pointing arrow in this line. What you want to do is click that blue arrow and you want to drag it to 0.5 right there. It's halfway to that like little 1 or that 1 over there. So you do that, and so it kind of pushes everything over here. It looks a little funky at first, but then this blue straight line on top, I'm going to click just that. Oop, I'm going to mess up. Let's try it again. I'm going to click just that, and I'm going to bring it back to 0. And looky there, I have a hanging indent. You can see I have my first line is all the way to the left. Every line afterwards is indented. I still have one more mistake on my Works Cited page, if you can see it, and it's that these are not in alphabetical order. So I still have one other thing I need to do. I need to highlight this. I'm just going to cheat and drag it. I'm going to have to enter there, but I have all my formatting set up, so it should be pretty good. And now I have a formatted Works Cited page.